Next, authorities in Catalonia are standing defiant. They say Sunday's independence referendum will go ahead. The Spanish government considers the vote to be illegal and it's doing all it can to block it. Our Catherine Clifford tells us how people in Catalonia are trying to outmaneuver Madrid so that people can cast their ballots.
A game of cat and mouse between the Spanish government and Catalonian authorities. On Thursday, a security meeting aimed to defuse mounting tensions. Madrid's deploying 10,000 officers in Catalonia on Sunday and says they'll be sent to block some 2,700 polling stations, seize ballots and arrest local officials facilitating the vote.
Everyone can celebrate as they wish, with a picnic, with a demonstration if they want. Everyone can publicly express their feelings, but they cannot violate the law.
The regional police, who found themselves torn in their loyalties, warn blocking the ballot will only lead to public disorder. Catalonia's interior minister said the vote will take place and insisted his forces will take their orders locally.
The commitment of the Catalan government is very clear. We want people to be able to vote, but we also have to accept that we are a police force with legal responsibilities. We have to organize a policing in this regard, bearing in mind that there will be thousands and thousands of people in the streets making a political demand.
Many Catalonians are acting to combat the government's moves. With voting traditionally held in schools, a crowd of teachers handed over keys to the Catalonian president. Anyone found with keys or entrance codes to a polling booth on them could face collaboration charges. Websites promoting the vote have been shut down, but to get round this, the president tweeted an app that will help voters find a polling station. The Spanish government's all-referendum infrastructure has been dismantled. For weeks, Madrid has been detaining officials, raiding offices and confiscating millions of voting slips and booths. But pro-independence activists keep on printing, handing out more leaflets and putting up more posters.
Now, for more on Sunday's vote, I'm joined here in the studio by our international affairs editor, Armin Georgian. Armin, when we take a look at where things have been and where they're going, it really is setting things up for a rather chaotic scene, a chaotic vote on Sunday.
Yeah, chaotic and also potentially dangerous because, as you heard there from the regional interior minister in Catalonia, the central government is sending 10,000 national police officers to make sure that polling stations are sealed. But at the same time, you've got local police authorities, which under the autonomy statute of Catalonia answer to local Catalan authorities, and they're being told you have to do what we say. That's to say, we the regional authorities. So what happens then if the national police block access to a polling station, but the local orders try to unblock that same police and regional police? Does it create a clash between people trying to vote and the national police? You can see why fears of violence have been expressed, even though we're constantly hearing Catalan politicians saying, no, we're peaceful, we're a peaceful nation, it's not in our nature to use violent means to achieve our political objectives. But it's really anyone's guess what can happen on the day itself.
When we look at Europe, how is the EU responding to this situation, to this crisis?
Well, the president of the Catalan region has accused the EU of turning its back on Catalonia. But realistically, the EU can only side with the rule of law and the constitution of a member state, which in this case is Spain, and Spain's constitution of a member state, which in this case is Spain, and Spain's constitution clearly said this is not legal. So the EU can only accept a referendum if it's been agreed between the region in question and the central government in question. Scotland is a case in point. Otherwise, the EU cannot accept this kind of scenario. So that's one thing. Also, the EU doesn't want to take a sort of front row kind of role in trying to resolve this crisis. It would much rather leave Madrid and Barcelona to sort this out, which is why at the moment it's trying to sort of keep a relatively low profile and continuing to call for dialogue between the two authorities.
Indeed. All right. Armin, thank you very much for that. Of course, we will see how things unfold on Sunday, and we will have special coverage of the referendum.